Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation unto the hopefully elect, the elect, right, the 144,000 brothers that pushing this work, Shalom, the sisters that learning and right, don't exactly have a title for this video right now, but we're just gonna bang on this devil, yeah, because we're seeing, a lot of things going on, right, close to beginning, and a lot of new members, well, not new members, but new people starting to come in, the learning, the listening, but they have yet to know really about their enemy, right, through the scriptures, right. So we're gonna start off in Wisdom of Solomon 6, right? It reads, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth," right? And who is this that will be speaking of here? Esau, Edom, right? Because Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? And the scripture talk about Esau is the one that will be ruling at the end, close to the coming, right? Where's that scripture? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is in that follow it. I think that's second Ezra 6 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. But I can start from 7. Right? It say, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it?" Right? So this was Ezra talking to the angel, right? It said, "And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau," right? And we know about this story in the book of Genesis, right? Which this, when he said it here, was referring to Jacob pulling down the stronghold of Esau, right? Because right now Esau is the one that ruling, right? And Jacob, which is us, the sons of Jacob, right? We pulling down this devil's stronghold by what? By preaching, right? Waking up to who we really are, right? Serving our one true power, right? That's how we pulling down his strongholds, right? Read Ephesians 6. A matter of fact, I'll read that after, right? So this is verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that follow it," right? That's plain as day. So Esau is the end of this world here to come, the so-called white man, right, or the Caucasians of today, right? They are Esau, Edom. That's a biblical nationality, right? And we so-called black people, right? They call us Africans, which we are not. The Africans' biblical name is Hamites, right? But we are the Israelites, right? Also known as Jacob, right? So let's go to Ephesians 6, right? This is we are knowing this on ourselves, regularly. We read from 10 to 20, right? But I'm just going to read verse 12 to understand, what we're really dealing with, right? Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities." Yeah, select here, right? I'm going to read that again. Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places," right? Spiritual wickedness in high places, right? And a lot of people, they would pick and choose certain words from these things and think, it's just demons alone. Yes, it's demons, right? But as the scriptures say here, right, against the rulers of darkness of this world, right? This world that we living in here, right? Because we know the 1%ers, right? With that, which is the Amalekites, right? Coming all the way down, to the lower people like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, or however his name is, men like that, right? So it's all these demons, right? Not to mention actual spiritual demons coming at you, that they're sending because they're trying to stop this world, but scripture say you can't do nothing against this truth but for the truth. Alright, so let's go back to the Wisdom of Solomon 6 and read down. Right, Wisdom of Solomon 6 And we continue in verse 2, right? It says, give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations, right? You know, we now said that, right? They rule any people right now. Esau running this world. Verse 3, it says, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsels, right? Because Esau move like if they achieve everything that they have, you know, of their own volition, which is not true, right? The Lord is the one that does that, and let's prove that. Right, this is the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 20. It said, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. Right, all these things belong to the Lord. Right, verse 21, it says, and he changed the times and the seasons, he removed kings and setteth up kings, he giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. Right, and also when he say he giveth wisdom unto the wise, right, that also applies to Esau Edom, right, because they are wise, you know, right, but on the left hand side, you understand, even though the Lord say he taken away the knowledge from Esau, right, in the book of Obadiah, which we're gonna get to, you know, in a short period of time, you know, but the Lord say there's no more wisdom in Teman. I'll just quote it right now, right? So the Lord gradually taking away their wisdom and transferring it onto us on the right hand side, right? So we receiving our knowledge, because, you know, the scripture also mentioned, hey, thou art wiser than Daniel, right? Esau was once wiser than Daniel, and Daniel was a very wise man, right? So that goes to show, right? But at the end of the day, it's all the Lord's knowledge that he gave unto them, right? So verse 22, it says, he revealed the deep and secret things, he knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Right? The Lord know, because, hey, he set up all these things. You understand? When you read Isaiah 45 and 7, just a quick precept to dive in. Right? Isaiah 45 and 7. Where it say, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do these things, do all these things. Right? He create the light and the dark. Right? There's also a scripture that said the Lord created all things for himself. Right? I know I'm flooding you with a lot of precepts, but hey, it's just how yapa, right, which means beautiful, you know, it's just how beautiful this word really is, you know, when it all comes together. Right? So let's go back to the wisdom of Solomon 6 and 1. Well, not 1, but verse 4. It said, because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Right? Now these devils, right, they don't, as the scripture say, ye have not judged aright. Right? They don't judge aright, meaning to say that they don't do it, they don't actually dish out justice. You know, the laws, all the laws and everything that they set in place was made to oppress chick and you know, what to put it, it's like to boost their thing, you know, they make it feel like if, you know, it's just, you know. But for instance, one of the most outrageous laws, right, that I know of now, it have a lot, obviously, but one that has pissed me off the most is like with these women, right, they will commit adultery against the husband, right? The husband decide to file for a divorce, right? Now she was clearly in the wrong, right? And after that husband working so hard to take care of her, you know, the family that they have together and whatnot, you know, she will, depending on how much that man make, she will file for a certain amount of money, and she will still get it, right, when she was clearly in the wrong, right? So there's no justice in that, right? And this devil have to pay for all these things. These nigger women too, you know, right? But these devils is the one that set all these things in place, you know, and these women just abusing it. When the Lord say what, right, use the word but don't abuse it, right? But hey, they all have the turn coming. Verse 5, it says, horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. We didn't just read that in Ephesians 6, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places, right? That's these elites, the Amalekites, right? The top banking families, you could go and search them, right? From the Rothschilds to Rockefellers, DuPonts, all these men, right? Go and search them up, right? They're not hard to find at all. Verse 6, it says, for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Yeah, these mighty men, right? Because again, they are the ones ruling the earth, so they're mighty, right? They're mighty because of the military, right? The way that they carry about themselves, right? With pride, like if they are the biggest thing on the earth, nobody can touch them, But hey, they shall be mightily tormented, the Lord say. Verse 7, it say, for he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he had made the small and great, and cared for all alike. Right? The scripture says the Lord is no respecter of persons. So it ain't nothing you could do that could frighten the Lord, right? Or make the Lord look at you in amazement, right? He made you what you are, right? And I was going to get this precept earlier, but I was saving it for this one here, right? When I went into the Daniel 2 and 21 talking about Lord set it up kings, right? Because this one could go with it also. There's 1 Samuel 2, and I believe this point will be in verse 7. Yeah, usually we read from 6, right? But the 7 is the point, right? Say, the Lord make it poor and make it rich. He bring it low and he lift it up, right? So the Lord is the one that does do all these things, right? Which goes back to the same Daniel 2 and 21, right? Because these devils are, and then again they make it seem like if they are the ones doing all these things, and their pride even come about, to it comes out of them, and they invoke it in a way like if they really the ones that doing all these things. I mean, we had this video with Klaus Schwab, mentioned we can make the God of the Bible as angry as we want, right? Because the earth has it made up of a more popular amount of water than land, right? So if he makes it to stop rain, right, we won't care. We have a lot of water, that's to show the mentality of these devils, right? The pride, you understand? But hey, they all have the judgment coming, right? And mightily torment, right? So let's go to Habakkuk, right? And then Lord willing, we'll go to Obadiah to prove us a few points, right? So Habakkuk 2, and we start at verse 4, right? It say, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his feet, right? The soul of which is lifted not up is lifted up. Salakia. His soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, right? Talking about Esau, right? These devils, they don't have an upright spirit. They don't have a right spirit, right? Because they were created to be wicked in the first place, right? And who is just? The elect in this case, right? Verse 5, it say, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, right? Meaning to say what, right? Micah 2 and 2, he oppressed a man on his heritage, right? There's also other scripture where he say, roughly paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but he goes from land to land, right? He goes from land to land. It goes in tangent with this same scripture, because they always trying to stretch their boundaries further, right? That's why they're setting up embassies all over the place, right? Because this devil want to be in everybody's land. They want to have a piece of something, But continuing here, I say, who enlarged his desires as hell, right? And as death, and cannot be satisfied, right? He enlarged his desire, right? We're talking about what? And he as it say here, he never satisfied, right? Because he done running the whole world already, but yet still he want more, You understand? They're not satisfied. They want to have total control. Let us say the Lord gave them total control. This devil will still find something to go after. You know, he might want to achieve actually finding out the full depths or the full understanding of the ocean. You know, all these things, right? That's why the Lord have to put him down, right? Because this devil never satisfied. He never want to stop, right? It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and they turn to him proverb against him, right? Because the scripture talk about he broke all his covenants, you know, with them, right? So, hey, what the scripture say? Therefore, the nations are mad, right? These nations are mad. So it say, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, right? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? Just mentioned that earlier in verse 5, right? But he enlargeth his desires because he going in places that is not his, right? And claiming it, he fighting it, he fighting for it, right? And he claiming it by violence, by blood, right? Which you're going to get into reading down, right? Verse 7, it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for bodies unto them, right? Like treasure, right? Like treasure. Verse 8, it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein, right? Same thing we're now talking about. It's just violence, right? It's just violence with these people, these devils. Verse 9, it says, woe to him that covet an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Right? Now, we have 3 more verses to read in this, but with this part here, we gotta jump into the Obadiah now, because we talk about he's setting up. I'm gonna go back here. They say what? He set his nest on high, right? They're talking about what? I'm gonna just mark this here. Alright, this is Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is on high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? These devils and them, they set their habitation on high. They as the scripture say, the pride of the heart, right? It deceive them, right? Because the pride, you know, is that when they go to 2 Thessalonians 2, you know, 4 going on there, you know, it talks about they sit in the seat of the Most High, right? Or they imagine themselves there, or that's what they want to do, right? Really and truly, it's both, right? Because they do imagine themselves there, and they want to do it because our body is a temple, and that's where they want to place their chip, right, to control us, right? Aside from that, right, the pride have them in the state of mind that, you know, they could do whatever they want and, you know, get away with it, right? But it's not so. So that's why they're saying in the heart, who will bring them to the ground? Because again, the pride, they watch themselves as so great that, you know, remember the scripture talks about, you know, Babylon, which is America in this modern time, you know, they being virgin in the scripture, meaning what? They untouched, right? Meaning has no one ever infiltrated America or defeated America in war, right? So that's one of the main reasons why they're so proud, right? Because no one was able to defeat America in combat, right? They were listed on the top, you know, I believe it was them first, you know, then Russia and then China, right? But right now the Lord's still enough Russia and China to go up against them, right? We know Russia already surpassed them in nukes by far, right? So I would say Russia is now on top, you know. I'm not too sure about China, right? But I know China not too far behind, right? But according to prophecy, I know Russia is the one that, you know, that's gonna be the main how to put it, the main one to target America, right? Even though China and all these other countries are allied with Russia, right? but Russia is really going to be the one to destroy America according to prophecy, right? So verse 4, but I want to say, do thou exalt thyself as an eagle, as the eagle, and do thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, right? So this is what I was talking about earlier too. Aside from the habitation high, right, it mentioned their nest in the stars. Was talking about what? Their satellites, right? Because when I go back to the Habakkuk 2 and 9, what it said, right? It says, woe to him that convert an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that may be delivered from the power of evil, right? The power of evil. The word evil means bad time, right? El meaning bad and elf meaning time, right? So when they go back in, right, he say he want to be evil, he want to be delivered from the power of evil, right? Which is what? The day the Lord come back, right? Hence the reason, that's why he set his satellites up there in the stars, as the scriptures say, right? Because he want to be able to detect when Yahushua coming through, right? So he could be able to prepare himself, set his nukes, aim at a certain way, all these things, right? Carnalism, so this devil think he could actually catch the Lord off guard when he come in. Really? That goes back to pride, right? That goes back to pride. I'll read the scripture here quick, what I was speaking about earlier. I'll read from verse 8, but I want an 8. It says, shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter, right? Now the Lord said he's going to destroy the wise men out of Edom, right? That's the reason why they're doing a lot of idiotic things right now, right? Because they're frightened, yeah, but the Lord also taking away their knowledge, right? So they're moving shaky, right? I believe the response to this is in Jeremiah, it's 49 and 10, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Yeah. It's verse 7 itself. Not all support it. Right? Jeremiah 49 and 7, it say concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perish from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanish? It say, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. Right? Dedan is another tribe of Esau, right? It say also Teman, right? Teman is the wisest tribe of Esau, Edom, right, of their nation, right? So that is why it says no more wisdom in Teman, right? It say, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him, right? And that is what Esau afraid of, right? Even though he doing all this wickedness, especially against the Lord's people, right, which is Israel, in his mind, well, in his pride, he thinks that he's going to get away, but at the same time, he's scared. Why? Because we're prophesying and things coming to pass, right? And these devils know the prophecies well, right? So the more the seed come to pass, is the more scared that they be. But they still think that they could twist prophecy, because why? The scriptures say what? The inward thoughts is that their households will continue forever, right? But the scripture also mentioned, the Lord appointed their bounds which they cannot pass, right? So they're living on borrowed time right now, right? They're living on borrowed time, so it have no second later, or no minute later, oh God, let me get a little 5 minutes now, Lord, a 5 minutes again, a 20 minutes, a 2 years again. No, Lord gonna destroy these bitches, right? So let's go back to the what I was reading before, the Habakkuk, and then probably we could close out. Right, it was 10. So let's Habakkuk 2 and 10. It said, "Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth his town with blood, and established a city by iniquity." Right? Who did this? Esau, Edom. Right? That is why the scriptures say this. Right? In Numbers 35, 33. Right? The Lord said what? Right? They say, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." Right? So Esau, Edom. Right? You know, he was Cain first. Right? And then when the reincarnation occurred, right, he was reborn again as Esau, Edom. Right? But what did the scripture say about Cain? Right? He was the first murderer. Right? He was the first one to commit murder. Right? That's why the scripture says he's a murderer from the beginning. Right? John 8:44. Right? So, hey, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Peace and salutations to the 144,000. You know, to the brothers are pushing us through, the sisters. You know, shalom, shalom, shalom. Barakatah.